Hey guys, Jacob here. This is going to be a quick video on the new exotic AR that was added in Year 5 Season 1 Broken Wings. I'll be showing you guys exactly how the weapon works, showing you where you can acquire this, and also pretty much give you guys an overall showcase on what it looks like. To get right into it, we're going to be at the firing range, and this is not going to be a build video, this is going to be a showcase for the weapon only. I just have some random pieces thrown on because I was messing with some stuff earlier, but this is what the new exotic AR looks like. It has a total damage of 91.4k, 850 RPM with 70 rounds in the magazine. Keep this in mind, this will go based on your rolls on this weapon. Yes, you can recalibrate this gun on the attributes and get things like swap speed, critical hit chance, and damage targets out of cover, so you can actually change that if you want to. You also can get RPM, so if you want to make this gun shoot way faster, you can also do that as well. Now, the total damage is going to be based off what build you have, so if you have a high red build, it's going to be way higher. But to get right into it, this is what the gun looks like. It has a description like every other exotic in the game. Sometimes the most beautiful and dangerous phenomenon is natural, and then it says anonymous, and that's going to be the inscription on there. And of course, you have the attachment, which you have the engine optic, which is 20% critical hit damage. You have the weapon handling grip, the 30 round magazine, and the 20% critical hit chance muzzle. Now, personally, I think there's some of the best attachments in the game, at least for critical hit chance and critical hit damage. These are way better than the Eagle Bear, which I know that's one reason a lot of people use the EB for critical hit chance builds, because it had some of the best critical hit mods in the game, and now this pretty much outshines that gun. Now, like I said, you also can change the attributes like the damage targets out of cover to even more critical hit if you want to do that. And if you guys want to look right here, you can see the talent, which is Actum S, which is shooting an enemy with this weapon gives 1 stack. At 100 stacks, the next magazine will be filled with shock ammo. And you guys can see the little animation it has here, which I'll see if I can zoom in on for you guys real quick. Inspect it. This is what the gun looks like, a little closer look. And it has like kind of like a coil pack on it. And it has the electric effect inside the barrel. And this is the only LVOA in the game that is actually full auto. I know some people were talking about that yesterday, but yes, they are correct. This is the only gun in the game that's an LVOA that has a full auto feature, and the rest are all semi-automatic, so this is the first one they added in the game. Now, also, one cool thing about this gun, which I actually did not notice until actually earlier this morning, when you go to shoot this, you can actually zoom in. It has a scope, which I was not aware of, which is kind of cool. So you can just right-click on your analog stick, and you can zoom in. And I do have shock bullets already loaded in this to kind of show you guys an overall idea of what the shock bullets look like. Move over here and shoot this target. You can see the shock effect there. Back up real quick. Alright, and we are actually out of ammo. I'll restock real quick for you guys. And I'm just going to burst this gun so you can see how fast it is and how accurate it is. And these are on standard red targets, which we are going to change over to heroic. Or named, if you will. And keep this in mind, this is not on a DPS build. This is just a hybrid kind of ninja bike build I was messing with. You can see that at the bottom, you get your stacks. They go all the way up with the magazine symbol. Now I have shock bullets. Once you're out, you can see at the bottom here that it'll start stacking up again. And when you're at 100 stacks, once you reload, you have the shock ammunition, and you get a total 70 rounds of shock ammo. Now, how to acquire this weapon? There's actually 2 ways you can get this. The first one is going to be the season rewards track. That's probably going to be the easiest. You actually can get this at 90, and you can get the exotic assault rifle blueprint at 91. That's probably going to be the easiest. Or if you have exotic caches after you get this, don't start opening caches if you don't, because I think you have to actually have this in the loot pool. They fixed it a while back, a long time ago with, I think it was the backfire. When around the time they did that. So if you have exotic caches, or you get exotic caches through doing missions, or if you get them through the rewards track, which from 95 you can get 2 guaranteed, but at that point you already have this. But if you you have a friend who doesn't have it, you could open a cache and take a chance to see if you could get it for them. Now you can farm loot allocation areas for ARs as well, but like I said, only if you have it in your loot pool and you get another one to drop. But if you're trying to get one for your friends, you can farm with them and maybe have a chance to get it to drop and pick it up. But the main way, I know 100% is going to be the rewards track. Just farm to 95 and you will get it, which I will show you guys real quick again here. Just to remind you, or get to 90, my bad, and 91, you'll get the blueprint in the gun. And yes, it is a bit of a grind, but you guys can go in the open world and farm activities, go in the DZ and farm landmarks, etc., etc. You know, to point out a few things that give you a good chunk of XP, if you guys do the Air and Space Museum or do Jefferson Plaza, which this is on Heroic, which has 3 directives, you're going to be getting 770,000 XP, and that will give you some good chunks. There's 3 missions here you can see right now. Or if you just clear, control points, that's 600k a pop on Heroic, which you can get way higher if you have even more directives turned on. And as for resource convoys, those are still 200k with the 3 directives. Not as good as the control points or even say some of the other stuff like the territory controls, which are right here. And the favorite one I've been doing, or my personal favorite, are going to be the public executions. Those give you 400k XP, and if you can just knock those out real quick with a few of your buddies, you'll be getting good XP. They'll be going up really, really fast. Now, the last thing I'm going to show you real quick is going to be the recalibration to show you guys you can change the talent on this. We're going to go all the way down to ARs. My bad, went too far. Or exotics. That's what I meant to do, which is right here. And you guys can see right here, cost credits, exotic components, receiver components, steel, carbon fiber, and the gun. So we're going to click on it again, and then we're going to craft. And if you remember, I had damage hearts out of cover, which was 7%, now it's 8%, which I'm going to roll this again just to show you guys another example. And it will actually change, which now we have stability. So you can change this, which is pretty cool. Do it one more time for you guys. And now we have accuracy, so you can change this quite a bit. I'm going to roll it a few more times until we get, something way better on it. Swap speed, don't really need that.
Might come in handy.
And boom, back to damage charts out of cover, which that's the best roll I've gotten so far. So you can roll this. You could change this if you want something different. I know some people have been changing it to RPM and just keep refiguring it or reconfiguring it. My bad, I can't speak. And getting RPM to making this thing an absolute monster. And I will say this is probably one of my favorite exotics in the game. I know the EB is probably still really up there. This thing has higher RPM than the EB. It has a higher magazine capacity. The damage is a little bit less, but I think the damage charts out of cover makes up for some of that. Of course, you have headshot damage as well. As for the attachments, though, if you look at the EB, you get 15% critical hit damage from the muzzle still, and you get 10% from the sights. So the best attachments in the game currently for an exotic AR are going to be the St. Elmo's engine. So you get 20 and 20. Now there's also the capacitor, which I know someone's going to bring up. You can get 30, which critical damage-wise, the capacitor still is the best for critical damage. That's 30%. Now if you could change health damage on this and put something like damage charts off cover, this would be pretty cool. And also, if you guys are not aware, they did redo the capacitor a while back. This is what it looks like. It looks a little different. But overall, that is how you get the new exotic St. Elmo's engine AR. Like I said, you can get this from the season reward track pretty easily if you just farm your ass off and just get it that way. And the season's not going anywhere. You have plenty of time. You guys can get to season 100 in a few weeks or a week, depending on your progress. For me, it was just a few days. I did use, I think, close to 500-600 credits. I did have some left over as well to kind of boost it up just a little bit to give me a little bit more time. And that's really going to be about it. But thanks for all the support, and I hope you guys have been enjoying the video.